Baltimore Ravens. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Jackson now off the bootleg. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now third down and 6 to go.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On third down, Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Ravens at 5-3 now on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
You're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Touchdown! A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens are on the board first here this afternoon. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They start the drive with Cook. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead.
Now Cook hit and he lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Well, a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
Now a quick throw into the hands of Jefferson. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
On 2nd down, Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stopped that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
After 7-0 on EA Sports. first and 10. It's Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum down.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Jackson from the shotgun. Going for Bateman. He's got him on the out route. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. He'll drop to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 45-yard line. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would...
He's got a man, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a quick throw caught by Allen. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Complete to Keenan Allen. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the Ravens' 11-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. This will be caught at about the 5. Touchdown, Vikings. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Vikings go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7.
Vikings 14, Ravens 7. Matthew Wright set to kick off.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, throwing back across his body. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Now, he exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
Now, a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And this is going to be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that is incomplete.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Jackson. And that's incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands. He's able to pick up the first down.
Being chased out left. And he'll just get rid of it.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. They'll set up a throw.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. And he'll be taken down, although there is a flag down. Will this stand?
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
And this will be a Vikings first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
69 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A good pickup there at 22. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Ebron caught left side. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Eric Ebron.
His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7.
Ravens 7. Matthew Wright set to kick off.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. But, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Jackson.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Report!
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
To throw again on 2nd down, Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And almost but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop it before he could get to the marker.
And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground.
He'll get this to about the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Cook. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
That's out to the flat for Edmonds.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll bring up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on fourth down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a fourth down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expecting to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And Dobbins, he is not going to get there. They stop him short of the line to gain.
That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Here we go. It's Jackson on fourth down.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Andrew Booth picks it off.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Makes the score Vikings 28, Ravens 7.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
The 22 more yards there and another first down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll look to throw here. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Complete. Jefferson to target.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Well, a clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming out.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded at the 20. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And my goodness, another interception.
Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Going left side, and he's got Donnell. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
The gain of 6 brings up 3rd and inches.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. 20, 10, 5. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And a loose football. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for Minnesota, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets.